I thought, maybe with the first one sort of being a boring piece of uninteresting media that had potential, the second part would have had the idea to sort of, I don't know, do something with that potential, but no, it's just dumber the more you look into it. What's funny is the movie opens up with a paragraph long explanation of the first part. Keep in mind, this is just the first part of I don't know how many, like four, like what, three, four, five that Zach wants to make. Like that entire movie is just like a simple explanation in the beginning of the second part. It just shows how badly the first one explains the universe and how shallow the story is, and it's just oh my god. Okay, it granted it's part one, but goddamn, was it just not entertaining to justify multiple parts, man? So the biggest thing that gave me a feeling the movie will be boring is the fucking slow-mo grain harvesting. Oh my fucking god. This motherfucker has slow-mo grain harvesting. Now this is just a new damn low for this shit, man. I shit you not. Half the movie is them preparing to give them fucking grains, man. And what's so fucking dumb is that it actually fucking works in their favor, which pisses me off. So let's get down to the story, right? So Commander Noble survives his fight with Korra and is on his way over to get his get back, right? You want to know what Korra and her ragtag group of people do? For the first 3 days of the 5 days until Commander Noble comes, they farm. They harvest grain. You you can't make this shit up, man. And it works because the plot says it'll work, so it's gonna work because apparently they need the grain so badly they can't risk blowing it up. So that's why they don't blow up the village. And it's just oh my god, what the fuck? So, I guess Korra and the dude from the village, Gunner, finally end up fucking and getting together. And she explains in bed with him why she is wanted. And it's because, big shocker, her adopted dad framed her for the murder of the royal family. So, yeah, to be fair, she did kill the daughter, but still, oh no, a big shocker, a big surprise, I suppose. And this is why she is wanted by the Empire. She is her dad's scapegoat. The last 2 days were Korra and her people finally getting things set up defense-wise in the battle, which I will say they did a pretty decent job thanks to Titus. However, at this point, none of the characters are actually talking to each other. They're just shown to have this sort of camaraderie, which makes no fucking sense because we are not shown that they know each other that well. They don't really speak to each other until this moment where Titus has them all come together and they explain their backstories a bit more in depth. I'm not, and I'm not gonna lie, Titus, my guy, your backstory. What the fuck? You disobeyed a direct order to nuke a capital of a world, most likely no different than others that you fought, and are surprised when the Empire makes an example of you? What the fuck is with this writing? Does the character not remember what organization, what empire he is in? Did he forget how merciless the Empire can be, or or am I stupid, right? It just makes no damn sense. What caught me by surprise though was Jungle Boy Tarak to be from a people with a Victorian era aesthetic and tamed griffins, but hey, I kind of fuck with it. But it would be cool to fucking see the place and explore it more before it was fucking annihilated by the Empire. It would have been so cool for him to have his own sort of movie or series or whatever and shows the downfall of his empire, thinking that they could be on par with the Empire. That could have been decent. Then we take a look of Nemesis. Nemesis was cool, cutting off her arms to fit the metal gauntlets of her people to used it to go to war way back when. It was neat until it said that the gauntlets and her ancestors, I suppose, taught her how to fight. And don't worry, we'll get to this quote-unquote fighting in a moment, because again, what the fuck? There was also the member of the resistance that, I guess followed them, who shared her story about how she was saved by the blood axe dude who died in the first part. It's pretty generic, I suppose. After this, I suppose I suppose they got closer, but Not really. I didn't feel super close to them either. Like, I didn't give a shit about their stories for the most part because I didn't really experience what they experienced or, felt bad. I just looked at them like, oh, I suppose. The stories were either just generic or just odd with the way they were expressed and, displayed to us, the viewer. And, after this, the battle happens, and it's mostly the most stupidest OG Star Wars Stormtrooper shit I have ever seen in my fucking life. The battle itself had so many moments where it could have been cool, but the way it was done just made it look so fucking stupid. So many moments where the main characters should have died. Titus and Tarak were both fighting on the front lines, and you can clearly see the Empire just point blank not shooting them or anything, or somehow fucking missing. It's so stupid. Tarak was hitting guys with fucking armor, with axes, full body armored people with axes, and somehow killing them or whatever, right? The Nemesis fight in the main house was just so so sad. It wasn't even stylish or anything. It was just, oh my god, it was just so bad. I'm just sitting there just watching it like, isn't she supposed to be like a badass assassin, and how is she getting taken down by other guys with swords? Isn't this supposed to be like her specialty? But then that's where it hit me. She wasn't properly trained. She was quote unquote trained by the gauntlets of her ancestors or some magical bullshit that wasn't properly explained to us. And it just it just, oh my god, it's just so stupid. The only real smart thing I saw was how Korra got on the big ship in the sky. Yeah, the same ship in the sky that for some reason isn't shooting the shit out of the village because of grain. Goddamn grain. Keep in mind, they traveled 5 days from the city planet that the first part ended off, right? I'm pretty sure. Just to get to Veld. Why couldn't they get food there? Or anywhere on the way to Veld and then blow up the village, or have them at their mercy? But no, that was smart. That is smart. Or am I the only one thinking here? Am I taking crazy pills? What the fuck is going on here? So, anyways, Korra gets on the ship. She gets ready to blow it up. She has a confrontation with Noble. The ship is going down because she blew it up, right? Gunner kills Noble, helping Korra, but dies in the process. Keep in mind, when the ship's engines blow, they were finally about to nuke the village. But fucking plot saved them, of course, right? So then the Resistance shows up to help mop up the rest of the Empire, and the movie ends at the vigil, right? I think Nemesis died because of her shitty fighting too. I don't know. I didn't see her at the funeral, or maybe I'm blind because I would just sit here like in a just surprised that this was part 2. I was just like, what the fuck is going on here? And yeah, Gunner dies for, I guess, plot or not plot, character development for Korra, because sleeping with the main character gets you killed apparently. This reminds me, funnily enough, reminds me of Yoko from Gurren Lagann. If you haven't watched that, check it out. It's great. It's a great mecha anime. And yeah, that's part 2 of Rebel Moon. Just what the fuck? Like, I wasn't happy with the first one, but I saw the potential of it. But dear God, this was just a forced scenario sort of thing for the movie, right? It could have all been explained in a 3-minute long montage, and I feel like it's going to be explained within another paragraph in the beginning of part 3. That's how I feel. There's barely any character development here, and we were just told these people's backstories and shown snippets that aren't really good snippets, and it just doesn't give me any interest in these characters. Besides maybe like the one cool thing that Nemesis had, and that was cutting off her arms to put on these sort of like assimilating gauntlets. I thought that was cool. I thought, Tarak's like homeworld, like taming like griffins and shit, I thought that was cool. I wish we had more of that shit, please, but no. His homeworld is fucked. And I'm just, man, if they made just separate movies about these individual characters, it could have been just better. Half the movie was just preparing a defense, and to be honest, it shouldn't even have held back the Empire with all the forces they put on the ground. For some reason, the Empire came in waves like it's a Helldivers defense mission and can't shoot for shit, and it was just a clusterfuck of a battle. Then James, the damn robot warrior guy, just comes in, doesn't do shit most of the movie, but cleans up the last round of zombies and leaves, I guess, right? And like he was like some sort of like special summon for like 5 seconds. It's just it's just so forced to me, and this specific scenario had to happen because it's what the Resistance needs to show that they can win against the Empire, which in my honest opinion, I want the Empire to win because I do not connect with these characters or the story at all. This is just bootleg Empire Strike Back, but somehow the rebels on Hoth fucking win because of plot. I don't mind Korra killing Noble, but it would have been interesting to see her connect to the mind machine thing and talk with her father, warn him that she will be coming for him before destroying the ship, signaling that she is done running. With that, she could have, like, I don't know, be the new face of the Resistance, and even though they were overrun and couldn't protect the actual village location, she destroyed their ship and left them stranded while her and the Resistance escaped to build up their army. That, I feel, could have at least been better than somehow winning against so many soldiers and tanks because of plot. Plot. And I don't know, thinking about the movie frustrates me so goddamn much. I honestly would just give this movie a 4. It's just not for me, Chief. I tried to give it a chance, but the story just isn't interesting to me. What are your thoughts on Rebel Moon's Scargiver? Do you love it, hate it, don't know how to feel about it? Because for me, it just feels like a waste of time. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Stay healthy, mentally, emotionally, and physically as well. Later.